The whole of nature, if you ever go to a forest with the river around a lake, you will experience that the thoughts will subside automatically. Joy in the heart will start to open up. People feel extremely relaxed, at ease when they're surrounded by dense nature. So there's a secret there. Nature does two things. A, nature helps you to open the heart space, and nature helps you to calm the overactive mind space. It's a balancing of the energy that nature does automatically just by being in the presence of nature. So encourage people to connect with the Panchabhutas, five elements of nature: earth, water, fire, air, and space.
So, Gurudev, I'll start with the first question. This
Ji.
has come from Rumita ji from LA. She's asking, why are anxiety, restlessness, chest pain, and insomnia increasing nowadays? I see many people going to the hospital for these reasons. How can we help them find the root cause of these ailments?
Yes, so all of these issues that you mentioned, they are increasing a lot, becoming common. What is the root cause? First, we need to understand what is the root cause. Whatever happens in your mind, we call it anxiety or depression, it's all part of overactive mind. The human system is made up of energy. What you see as body is basically this whole flow of energy moving into this. That energy is making us think, act, do whatever we are doing in the world. Now, there are three zones of this energy. Two zones have become very dormant, and hence the third zone has become very active. What are these three zones? In the education system also, Rumita, we say that triple H formula. I'm sure many of you must have heard about it. If not, the triple H formula, which is head, hands, and heart. These are the three essential segments of your system. If the energy in the human system need to flow properly, then all these three systems need to be fully engaged. But what is happening today? Most out of all the three systems, most of our energy is being utilized or diverted towards just the head, which is mind. We are doing much less things with hand. Our bodies are much less active. Our heart is much less open. There's very little flow of the energy that's going to the heart. And when I'm saying heart, I'm not talking about the physical organ. I'm talking about the spiritual heart, where you feel compassion, where love originates from, where devotion originates from. Center of the chest, which we call also Anahata Chakra area. Now, if these three systems, the energy flow in these three systems is imbalanced, there's a problem. And what's happening in the current life, if you see the lifestyle that we have built around us, in the name of comfort and convenience, we are using very less of our physical energy or very less of our energy in the physicality, doing things with our hands, making the body active in the name of convenience and comfort. We're not connecting with each other. We become very closed hearted people. We don't trust anybody easily. We don't trust even our own selves. So hearts are getting closed. Please understand, Rumita. If the flow of energy is not happening towards the heart space, if it's not getting utilized in the physical activities, which I'm saying hands, so all of this accumulated energies, it's got only one channel left, which is the mind. So that is the reason most of the people that you see today or even observe while walking on the street, they're lost in their thoughts. It's a common phrase now, lost in the thought. What does it really mean? That you could be somewhere doing something, but mind is overactive, and hence all the energy is going towards the mind, and that's making mind very active. It's not letting mind to relax and rest a bit. There's no pause, there's no silence. Hence, any system that becomes overactive will have to pay the price. So, overthinking, stress, anxiety. What is anxiety if you really look at it? Something I have to do tomorrow. I meet people who say I become anxious even with the thought of that I'm going to start my travel tomorrow. Two important things here. Travel is going to start tomorrow, not yet, it has not yet happened. But it's making the person anxious, and the person says, even just the thought of traveling. So the overactive mind starts to create image and combinations and permutations and all of that about the travel that's going to start tomorrow. That's anxiety. You're not able to deal with it. The mind is creating so much story, so much content, so much permutation combinations that the person is unable to handle that load because the system is running off balance. And that, Rumita, is the start of most of the issues, restlessness, chest pain, all of that you talked about. That's the starting of this. People say heavy, my chest is feeling heavy. What does it really mean? That the energy flow at the heart is restricted. Not the energy is not flowing to the heart center properly. So any situation will start to make the chest heavy, the breathing heavy. So what you need to identify in yourself and in the people that you work with, identify these. So first understand that there are three zones which need to be very active: head, heart, hands. Three zones. Energy need to be absolutely distributed between the three, right? And then help people design their day accordingly. Yeah, in India we call it dincharya. How do you design your day, your daily activity? When you design your day, these three need to be balanced. If there's an imbalance in these three, we will experience these issues within ourselves and people around us. Yeah. If you school, you know, in India, I witness this a lot. The young school children, college going youth, they're facing this a lot. Why? Because very less physical activity. All the time sitting and trying to read and do. Even when they want to go out to play, parents tell them, don't waste your time in playing. Come study. Absolutely wrong. Because when they go out and make their body active, that's when the energy is getting channelized. Yeah. So A, design dincharya, which is your day where all three components are balanced. Yeah. Now, in all of this, the heart space becomes tricky because how do you open that? How do you make sure the energy flow at the heart space is also happening properly? Connections. Encourage people around you with the group that you work with, Rumita, to make connection. And how do you make connections? When you go out of your way and help somebody, do something for somebody. All through our life, we're only doing things for our own sake, I, me, and myself. When people start to go out and do something for somebody, heart opens. Energy flow starts to happen in the heart. When people go out there and connect with nature, very important, extremely important. The whole of nature, if you ever go to a forest with the river around a lake, you will experience that the thoughts will subside automatically. Joy in the heart will start to open up. People feel extremely relaxed, at ease when they're surrounded by dense nature. So there's a secret there. Nature does two things. A, nature helps you to open the heart space, and nature helps you to calm the overactive mind space. It's a balancing of the energy that nature does automatically just by being in the presence of nature. So encourage people to connect with the Panchabhutas, five elements of nature: earth, water, fire, air, and space. Just lie down in a park on a sunny day, observe the sky, feel the ground and the grass. Now, in the modern world, we've moved far away from nature, which was or which is designed to automatically balance our energies. But we're far removed from that, hence paying the price. Hence, energies are getting blocked and only channelized in the mind space. So that's the root of the problem. Yeah. Now, once you understand the root, you're able to work with it. Hence, understanding is extremely important, which we call jnana. Knowing, understanding is extremely important. That's where you start with. So, summarizing: one, three segments of the energy system: head, hands, heart. Two, help people design their day in a way where the energy is balanced between head, heart, and hands. It's channelized in all three. Three, help people connect with nature, encourage them, inspire them to be with nature, to really connect with nature. When they forest, they don't need to talk on phone. They don't even need to talk among themselves. Observe, breathe the air of the forest, touch the ground, touch the trees, soak your feet in the water, feel nature, experience the profundity of the vast sky. It brings deep balance in the system. And next, encourage people to make connections. Once they start to make connection with nature, encourage people to make connection with people. We need to connect with our own species. We're far removed. And that's when the trust on each other, love and compassion for each other starts to grow. And that's how the system, the energy system, starts to balance itself. That's where healing starts, not through medicine alone. Yeah. Hope this helps, Rumita. There's so much we can talk about it, but I've given you certain key pointers to really think about it. This is very, very essential if humanity needs to regain its sanity back. Very essential. Hope it helps, Rumita.
The next question has come from Jenny Gupta from New York. Her question is, you have spoken before on the importance of moving through life with love. I was wondering if one found that they weren't sure how to find and unlock love in their own heart, what process would you recommend? How would you help them to open their heart and, above all, find their way to self love and a love for life?
Jerry, the way it happens, how do you help people to start to love life? First thing first, whatever you want to share with the world out there, first of all, you need to really grasp it and cultivate it in your being. Only then you have the adhikar, which is the right to go out and share it with the world out there. Yeah. So we're talking about this process of, trust and love. How do you unlock it? So first, learn to unlock it tremendously within your own self. How do we do that? What's the process? Here is the process. Number one, accept yourself fully. Yes, we all have some downsides and we all have some upsides also. We are all mixed bags. Life is a mixed bag. Number one, I accept myself fully the way I am, the way this being is created. I accept it. In this acceptance, you start to see your downsides also very clearly. But first, you need to accept it. Only then you will be able to work with it. But that's a separate zone. We're not entering into that. We're talking about the subject of how do we cultivate and unlock this love, which is residing in every heart. There's not even a single human being who takes birth on earth without the love in the heart. No matter how cruel that person appears, but there is love in the heart. How do you unlock it? So, first, accept yourself. Everything has two realms, the self and the other, this and that. The day you start to accept yourself fully, that's the day you will start to accept the world around you fully with all its imperfections. But you cannot accept anybody fully with all their imperfections unless you learn to accept yourself fully with all your imperfections. So that's number one. Number two, do you really respect yourself? This piece of life that you are, do you really respect it? The day you start to respect yourself is the day you will start to respect the world around you. What does it really mean? Respecting the self. What is self comprised of? Self is comprised of number one, the physicality, the body. Do you respect your body? What does that mean then? Do you know what's good for this body's nurturing and what is not good for this body's nurturing? And do you take care of that? Do you know how much exercise, how much space, how much connection with nature this physical system needs? If you respect the self, then you respect the body also. Then you don't feed the body with that which damages it. You respect it. Then you do everything to nurture this body because you respect it. And the same laws goes for the thoughts and the emotions also. Correct? You respect this self. That's the second thing. We start from accept, we enter into respect. And number three, then we enter into another third segment. We're still talking about how do you unlock and cultivate love. Is when you look at your life, do you experience gratitude for whatever this life has offered you? You're breathing right now. You're alive right now. Do you feel gratitude for that? This job, this business, this family, this friends that you have, food that you have on the table, so much life has blessed you with. Is there a gratitude? Do you experience that gratitude on a constant basis, not once in a while, constant basis? You look at I'm looking at the window outside and there are beautiful Himalayan mountains just right there. When I look at them, there's a sense of gratitude that I'm here, experiencing the profundity of the Himalayas right now. With that, the gratitude that I have eyesight to be able to witness this beauty. Gratitude for the mind and emotions that I have to be able to comprehend all of this. Comprehend all of this. So, constant gratitude for this warning, for this speech that has been given to me, for the ability to share this warning or share this, whatever I'm sharing with you right now, using this speech, the ability to do that, the adhikar, the right that Shiva has given me to speak and share this, gratitude for that. Do you see that? Every little part of your life is a gift. Do you feel that gratitude? Do you cultivate that gratitude? And the word here, I love Buddhist tradition because they use the word cultivate. These are the gifts that are hidden in our heart. It's like when you put a seed on the soil, the seed grows into a beautiful tree. The question is, Where was tree before it appeared? It was inside the seed. It was hidden inside the seed. And all the components that were needed for the seed to become a tree were all hidden in the soil. It was all there always, but hidden in the soil, in the seed. Hence, you need to cultivate. You need to create the soil and allow the seed to crack open so the tree starts to come out of it. But it was all there. Similarly, this love is all there in the heart, but you need to cultivate this. So gratitude is there in every human heart. Nobody's born without the ability to appreciate and feel gratitude. Nobody is born without that ability. But it's all hidden in the heart. You need to cultivate it. How do you cultivate? By regular practice. How do you do the regular practice of, let's say, gratitude? In after every few, let's say, after every hour, you're working in your office, your business, your home. After every hour, you just close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and feel gratitude for the ability to do whatever you are doing. You're cooking food, the ability to cook food. You're working, the ability to work. You're with friends, the ability to connect. Thank you, Ishvara, for giving me this ability. Every evening before you go to your bed to sleep, write down things that you felt deep gratitude for today. Morning, you wake up, you touch the earth. In India, we have this tradition. We wake up, the first thing that we do, we touch the earth and take the blessing and see, aha, new day, I'm still alive. Thank you. And thank you, earth, for supporting me. Ma, we call her Ma, Mother, Mother Earth. Thank you, Mother Earth, for supporting me and nurturing me. These are the practices through which you start to cultivate gratitude. You go to your temple, your deity, your church, wherever you go, in front of your image of your God. You don't go there to ask for something. Your prayers must not be about asking for something. You go there to pay, to show your gratitude to the deity for giving you all that you have. Every prayer is a prayer of gratitude, not a prayer of demand. We've created the whole system upside down. Every prayer must be prayer of gratitude, not the prayer of demand or complaint. Worst, right? Because whatever you need in this life, you've all been given for. Desire is a different matter. But whatever is essential that you need in this life to grow, to really be awakened, you have all of that with you. What you don't have are the unlimited desires that you have. You don't have the material to fulfill all your desires. But to be able to awaken, the need, the deepest quest to be awakened, and for awakening whatever is needed to conduct this life, you've been gifted all of that. So when you go to in front of your God, the prayer must be of gratitude. This is how you start to cultivate gratitude. You follow. Now, once you've done these three, accept, respect, and gratitude, the fourth will start to happen automatically, and the fourth is trust. Slowly, you will start to see the trust will start to emerge. Trust for the unknown, for this entire life. You will start to experience sacredness for this entire life. Every human connection that you form, there'll be an element of sacredness in that. So trust and sacredness will start to come on its own. And that's what we call the emergence or the awakening of love in the heart. That's the process. If you follow this process, the 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 dormant love in the heart will start to open up. The tree will start to emerge from the seed. It's all there. But that's the process we need to follow. First within ourselves. And then we need to help people around us to follow the same process. People are becoming too hard on themselves. Help people around you to accept themselves. Help people around you to respect themselves. Help people around you to really start to cultivate gratitude in life. Then trust will emerge. Then sacredness will emerge. And through that, the love will start to manifest itself in your life, every moment of your life. To me, that's the formula. Hope it helps. Thank you.
Today's third question has come from Mehrdad from Berkeley. The question is, I grew up being pushed first by family and society and later by my own inner critic. The drive helped me achieve a lot, even in practices like yoga and meditation. But now my body resists being forced. I recently stopped meditating and felt a relief. Yet, any practice requires effort at some point. How can I shift from discipline driven by self pressure to a way of practicing that feels easeful and sustainable?
Beautiful question. I think a lot of sadhaks, a lot of world is struggling with this. First thing first, why do you do what you do? Is the first question that you must ask yourself and investigate. Why do you do what you do? Be in the field of business, be in the field of daily life, or be it in the field of sadhana. Why are we doing sadhana? We must be very clear about it. We're doing sadhana or our meditative slash yoga practices. What is the intention behind it? Why am I doing this? Where did it initiate from? That's the source. That's the seed. And if the seed is wrong, the whole outcome will not be perfect or not be desirable. Lot of people are following sadhana, since the question is pertaining to sadhana issue more. I'll talk about that more. Lot of people are pursuing their sadhana, which are spiritual practices, because the world around them, their friends around them, they were pursuing it. A. B. They were finding it difficult to, how do I say, conduct themselves in life. The pressures of life were becoming too much. The stresses of life were becoming too much. So somebody told them, you do sadhana and all of this will ease out. The intention was not to reach to the truth of life, the bliss of life, but to fix something small. And we use sadhana for that. Sadhana is a big word. It's like you dedicate your life towards something. It's not a stress relief mechanics. If you want to do stress relief, well, there are so many other ways. Go for a run every day in the morning for an hour. Sweat it out. The system will find its balance and you'll be stress free. I talked about the balance of head, hands, and heart. You just follow that process. The stress and anxiety from the system will go. You don't need to do any sadhana for that. Sadhana is a different matter. We are confusing all of these things. I want to become better in my body. I want to increase my mental sharpness and I enter into sadhana. No, you don't enter into sadhana for that. It's a wrong starting point. You want to increase your focus? There are 20,000 techniques out there. Go work with some, expert on mind focus and mind training. You don't need to go to an ashram for that. You don't need to enter into a sadhana for that. So please understand. These sciences, which we call the yogic sciences or sadhana sciences, they are deep processes. You enter into those processes, first of all, with absolutely pure intention. And the pure intention is just not, I want to become better in my body, so let me start to do yoga. Well, yoga will help you to do that, will help you to cultivate stronger body, flexible body, resilient body. Yes, it will help you. But if you're entering into yoga just for that, you're missing the point. If you're entering into any spiritual practice, meditation practice, just so that you become a little more calmer, you're missing the point. And once you miss the point, then you don't know when to stop. Please understand this very carefully. If you're starting from the wrong note, then you do not know when to stop. Then one thing leads to another, and you slowly become obsessed with that. Because the starting point of the journey, which I in Hindi called Uddeshya, or the purpose, was unclear. Now, so I said, first thing, you must know why you're doing what you're doing. You must know that. This is the starting point to put not just your sadhana, but your life back on track. Spend some time on this. Anything that you're doing, you're choosing a life partner, you're entering into a business, you're picking a job, you're entering into sadhana. Anything that you're doing in life, you need to spend considerable amount of time and energy into this thought that why am I doing what I'm doing? And once that is clear, now the path, the journey is going to be very smooth and clear. First level thing. Number two, yes, you're right. To, to cultivate anything in your system, there's a certain discipline, practice, and effort needed. Absolutely, no doubt about that. But once my why is clear, then the discipline and the effort that I'm putting will also be very clear to me. Then nothing will be forced. You follow what I'm saying? You somewhere in the question use the word achievement. That when you put a lot of effort, you achieved great success in business and your life, etc., etc. Well, spiritual life is not about achievement. It's a wrong word we use in the spiritual domain. Here, we're not wanting to or trying to achieve anything. That's the classic mistake my friend Buddha also made. But he realized he was also wanting to achieve something. He was putting a lot of effort into it. And then he realized that with this excessive, obsessive effort and this mindset of achievement orientation, he was a king, came from a kingdom with the whole language of success was achievement oriented. So his process probably was still achievement oriented. But then he realized one day, oh my God, I'm making a mistake. This path that I'm on, though his starting point was very clear, unlike most of us, his starting point was very clear. He didn't want to get just mental peace or calm or relief from anxiety or stress. He really wanted to know the nature of reality, the truth of life, the truth of death. He wanted to know all of that. He wanted to move beyond the sukha and dukha, the pains and pleasures of life. He wanted to really transcend. So his starting, his why was very clear and very truthful. But along the way, this achievement orientation probably disturbed him. He put excessive effort into this. And the day he realized that no, 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 achievement orientation is a problem. In this path, you don't enter with achievement orientation. He dropped that. And as the story goes, on that very day, when he dropped this achievement orientation and all the obsessive effort that came along with it, boom, magic happened. He realized. That's the reason we use the term realization and not achievement. Buddha did not achieve anything. He realized the nature of reality. He realized that. So please, point number 2. If your orientation is achieving something in your spiritual path, you need to work with that. Yeah, we need to change that. The fundamentals need to be right. We're not going to achieve anything. I heard a story once. I don't know if it's a true story or no, but I heard the story. Once somebody asked Buddha that with all of this great effort, oh great Buddha, that you put, and now finally this space of enlightenment, what did you achieve of by putting all of this effort, renouncing all of that beautiful life that you had? What did you achieve, O great Buddha? And he answered, well, I did not achieve anything. But all the wrong that I was carrying in my head, I just dropped all of that. And that's what enlightenment is all about. So you don't achieve anything. You drop your excessive mental baggage, conditionings, attachments, and the duality of pain and pleasures, likes and dislikes. You just drop that and you get relieved. That's what it happened with Buddha. You follow what I'm saying, right? Now, yes, to cultivate anything, now I'm entering into point number 3. To cultivate anything, some level of discipline is needed. Effort is also needed. If you drop discipline and effort, there's a problem. So please do not drop your discipline and effort, but you need to add something to your discipline and effort. Earlier, what you were adding here was A, the wrong why, B, achievement orientation. Now you drop that and you add purity into this, love for the practice, trust in the practice, or the process that you're following. Let me clarify this because I know there's a lot of confusion around it. Please understand it very carefully. There are two elements of this. We are entering into something critical. Please listen to this very carefully. There are two components of this. A, every practice is not meant for every practitioner. The day you realize that this practice is not working for you, please drop that practice and move on to something else. But do not drop your discipline or your effort. There, the discipline and effort is needed. Probably that particular set of practices were not meant for you. So there were two problems. Maybe that set of practices. Two, the orientation towards the practices, which was achievement oriented. Lot of pushing to that. There was no ease in the practice. There was no love affair with the practice. Right? So two components, very clearly understand this. Component number 1, pick up the practice that works for you, that is meant for you. How would you do that? Well, if you don't have the guru with you, trial and error. Pick up a practice, do it for 3 to 6 months. If it's working, great. If it's not working, maximum 9 months. Drop it and see if there's something else that you get. It is always advisable to get the practices from the guru directly. One clarification. Second clarification. The practices that you do, there are two categories of practices. Maintenance practices. So most of your yoga asanas that you do, maintenance practices, safe to do. Second level of practices, progression oriented practices, where your spiritual journey, sadhana, starts to move ahead. It's just not maintenance. These are deep practices, ideally to be given by a guru, not picked up on your whims and fancies. Two sets of practices I talked about. Element number 3 within this is your love affair with the practice. And that's very critical. If you really love, just the chanting of Om as your spiritual practice, well, you will realize the truth. Just by simply chanting Om mantra, which we call the Bij mantra, even that alone is powerful enough to take you into the door of Shiva. Discipline and effort is needed. Yeah. So listen to what I shared in this particular answer again. There are very subtle points I've shared with you. I don't want you to miss them. And when you will listen to it for a few more times, you will get those essential points and some clarity will emerge from that. But this is a deep subject, requires much more um, opening of this. Yeah, this is deep subject and this is tricky because mind will catch on to something that is easy for the mind. I know people who've been forcing themselves on practices. And when I say something like this, that ease it out, they just drop the process and fall into tamas, which is absolute laziness and delusion. So, hence, I'm making this statement very clear. Discipline and effort is needed for any progress to happen. Hence, we use the word cultivation. Cultivation is a lot of discipline, lot of effort, but in the right direction with the right intention. That's what it matters. The direction needs to be right, the intention needs to be correct. Then your discipline and effort will pay off. Hope this helps. There'll be some more queries you may have on this as follow up. Yeah, we'll look into that in the subsequent satsangs. For now, contemplate on this, it'll help a lot. Thank you.
So this question has come from Desi from New York. The question is, in my spiritual journey, greater openness and compassion have at times led to self-abandonment and blurred boundaries with difficult consequences. How can spiritual openness be integrated with discernment and healthy boundaries so that inclusivity does not turn into self-abandonment?
Interesting. Okay. Mind, what to do about the mind? Mind loves to live in the extreme. First, it lived in the extreme of exclusivity, that I am something great, no compassion for the world out there. And then mind moved into other extreme of absolute inclusivity, where even the boundaries got blurred. Both becomes problem. It's like first we were self-obsessive. Everything is about me, and I, me, and myself. Then some love and compassion and awakening takes birth, and suddenly mind moves to the other extreme of self-abandonment. So from self-obsession, it straight away jumps into self-abandonment. What mind needs to learn, what you need to cultivate is what we call the balance, the middle path. That's number one. Very important. Somewhere earlier in the satsang, I said that knowledge is very important. That's why we do these satsangs. We need to understand the movement of the mind. It operates in these two extremes of either self obsession or self abandonment. The truth is somewhere in the middle, the balance is somewhere in the middle, right? Point number one. Point number two, how do you maintain that balance? I'll share two things with you on this. Number one, when love starts to and compassion starts to open in your heart, you want to go out in the world and do some service to the world. As I said, now mind is moving into the zone of self abandonment. It has a lot of compassion in the heart, but it needs to learn the balance. Now, when that compassion start to take birth in the heart, where is the source energy that is coming to fuel this compassion? Please listen to this carefully. Let me repeat that. I'm feeling a lot of love and compassion and doing some seva, some service for some people out there. Correct? Where is the energy coming from? What is fueling this compassion? See, everything needs energy. I am picking this cup of water, my hand moving. It needs energy, right? I'm asking, when I'm doing an act of compassion, a feeling of compassion, where is the energy coming from? What is fueling that? You know what is fueling that? Is your sadhana, is your discipline, is your spiritual practice. Whatever practice, and practice is just not physical practice. Even this satsang is a spiritual practice. You sit and read a book, a spiritual practice. You go connect with nature, spiritual practice. Anything that is A, stilling your mind, B, opening your heart, is a spiritual practice. Let me repeat this again. Anything that is stilling your mind and opening your heart is a spiritual practice. Could be anything. I know for one of our sadhaks at the ashram, for her key spiritual practice is cooking. She spends many hours every day cooking, feeding people. Because at that moment, and I asked her, why do you spend so much time in cooking when we can have a cook who can cook for all of us and you can save this time? And she said, you know what, Gurudev? When I cook with my own hands, my mind is absolutely still. And when that food I feed people, my heart opens up. I said, brilliant. And that's a spiritual practice you're following. It's no more cooking, it has become a spiritual practice. Are you with me? Now, what was the point I was making? Yes. So, what is fueling this love and compassion, this act of love and compassion that you are doing in the world, is just spiritual practice. More deeper I go in my sadhana, more energy I will get from there, which will fuel my acts of compassion. So the drain will not happen. What you're calling the blurred boundaries is basically drain. A drain is happening. Because the drain is happening, you need to feel, or you feel that, oh, I need to create some boundaries. It's taking too much of my time, effort, and energy. Kind of a scenario. It's linked. So, number one, your sadhana is the source of your energy. With sadhana, this energy that you get, you move that energy through love and compassion into acts of service and seva for the world out there. Even prayer, sitting in your room and just praying, is also an act of seva based on love and compassion. What is fueling this is your sadhana. That's the source of this energy. So, the more sadhana that you will do, more energy you will get to be able to pour into the acts of compassion. With more sadhana, more heart will open. And not just the heart, the mind will also start to open. And as mind open, the wisdom starts to flower. And this wisdom will tell you how much you need to do for certain beings. Your sadhana is the source code of all of this. I'm saying two things here. Your sadhana will provide you necessary energy to keep going on and not feel depleted. And your sadhana will also awaken the wisdom in you. And this sadhana also means moments of silence and pause. In those moments of silence and pause, this will emerge. Sadhana or spirituality does not make you dull. You become ultra sharp to know who's taking you for a ride in the name of seva or compassion. and with whom you need to really pour more, in what projects you really need to pour more time, effort, and energy. This wisdom starts to grow as you go more deeper in sadhana, as the spaces of silence and mental stillness starts to appear. That's the reason I'm talking about it. To do's formula will not work here. We're talking about wisdom. In the Hindi, I use the word Viveka Shakti, the power of wisdom. Sadhana must open that channel. Actually, if you're really doing the right sadhana, wisdom starts to open up in you. That's the first thing that happens. Even for small little things, your wisdom starts to open up. A sense of seeing starts to open up. Now, nobody can take you for a ride. Now, you know when to say no and not allow your energies to be depleted. Now, you don't get entangled in the works of seva. You become engaged in the works of seva. Now, compassion does not become an entanglement for you, but a way of freedom for you. Again, it's a deep subject. Today, I think all of you asked questions which require 2 days of retreat together to really able to delve into that. But with the time that we have, I'm just sharing a few sutras with you. I hope this will help you. Thank you.